Okay, hi everybody. So we're at this point we're at quotation marks, and what I would like to do is discuss them in more depth. We've talked about quotation marks in general, and we've dealt with a few exercises. But now I want to talk exactly about what we do with the punctuation, meaning the periods, the question marks, anything that is related to the quotation mark. A lot of times people forget or don't know at all what to do with those. So we're going to look at this page right here, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do with these other pieces of punctuation. So the quotation marks are used by writers to show the speaker's exact words. That we already know. And a direct quotation, that just means something that's taken right from the speaker. Okay, so if I say, hi, how are you? And you want to say, Mrs. Summers said, hi, how are you? Then, hi, how are you? Right, would be the quotation, would be inside the quotation, okay? So, that would be my direct quotation. That would be exactly what I said. So the examples, all right? So I'm going to erase all of this. And the examples are, how far is it to school? Asked Doug. Okay, so what did Doug say? Doug said, how far is it to school? And he said it as a question, right? So everything that he said is going to be in the quotation marks. So because he used a question in his original statement, all right, he used a question mark. So we include the question mark in the quotations, right? Because he used it in his original statement, okay? So how far is it to school? Asked Doug. Right, we don't need a comma or anything. We just put what he said and then asked Doug. Now we have a period at the end of our sentence because that was what the whole sentence was, a statement. How far is it to school? Asked Doug. The whole statement was just what Doug asked. But his actual question included a question mark, his actual direct quotation. All right, again, Sarah asked, and we know there's a comma before the quotation marks. We already did that one. It is 2 miles. Okay, so now here's the trick. How do we know that the period here goes inside the quotation mark? Well, when Sarah said her statement, she said, it is 2 miles. And she needed a period at the end of her statement because it's just a statement that requires a period. So she can't just say it is 2 miles and not have any punctuation, right? So her whole statement, everything that she said, was included in the quotations. So therefore the period there, excuse me, the period there goes inside the quotation mark. Okay, so again, did you read the sign? Now Doug asked a question. His whole direct quotation was, did you read the sign? There's a period at the end because it's the whole sentence is about what Doug said, but the quotation has a question mark, and that's why the question mark is included inside the quotation marks. Okay? So then it says, place periods, question marks, and exclamation marks within direct quotation marks. All right? So every time that there's a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark in the original statement or in the original remark, whether it's a question or a statement, in the original quotation, then you include those in the quotation marks. Place commas inside quotation marks only when the speaker follows the quotation. Okay? So here's an example. He yelled, comma, stop that. She asked, is that yours? How far? Now we put something in between, comma, asked Emily, is it to the store? So because asked Emily goes in between, we broke up our quotation mark there. That's why we have the commas. Okay? And then he yelled, well, we need something before the quotations. She asked, we need something before. But if it was just, stop that, she yelled, you don't need a comma. Is that yours? She asked, you don't need a comma. See, like up here, asked Doug, said Doug. Okay? So this is really tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few with you first. Okay? So, have you been here before? Asked Jane. Okay, have you been here before? Well, that's what she said. She walked into the room and she said, have you been here before? Or she walked up to me and said that. All right, so she didn't say this part, right? So we know that's not in the quotation mark. But what about this question mark here? Well, she had to have put a question mark at the end of her sentence because we know that question marks go at the end of sentences that are questions. So her whole quotation includes the question mark. Have you been here before? Now you might feel like you want to put a comma here, but you don't need one, right? Like up here and up here, we said we don't need one because it's not, the quotation is coming first. So we don't need the comma. All right. So yes, about 2 years ago, replied Stan with a smile. Now, we need a comma here because there's more of the sentence, replied Stan with a smile. But he wants to say yes, about 2 years ago. Okay, so yes, about 2 years ago. But because about 2 years ago isn't a sentence, the reason why we need a comma is because it's not, it's inside the quotation and only when the speaker follows the quotation. So the speaker here is following the quotation, so we need a comma. Okay. Do you both know when the show starts? All right, so again, this one, the question marks here, the question mark has to be included, right? Because that's part of the original statement. All right? So I want you guys to do this. You're going to do the rest of this. And then you're going to do this one. And then I'm going to give you the rest of exercise 2 and also exercise 3. Okay, so I'm going to give you the rest of exercise 2 and also exercise 3.